Good evening, this is the New Dawn FM News in English, read to you by Aloysius Laukai. First, the headlines. 21-day lockdown period for non-essential services and delay of 2020 ABG general elections due to COVID-19 outbreak. Schools in Bougainville suspended for 3 weeks. State of Emergency Controller to announce control measures this Friday. Emergency lockdown will affect region's economy and other essential services and people trying to cope with COVID-19 restrictions. Now the news in detail. The Bougainville Executive Council has declared a state of emergency as of Monday, 23rd March 2020 for 21 days, according to the Bougainville Constitution. A circular was released today by the Office of the Chief Secretary, stating that all activities prescribed by the Prime Minister under the National State of Emergency are adopted. The 21-day state of emergency period will further affect the issue of writ for the 2020 ABG general elections, hence the writ will not be issued on Friday, 27 March 2020. Therefore, the 2020 ABG general elections will be delayed. The state of emergency also imposed a ban on all flights and ships coming into Bougainville for 21 days, except for delivery of cargo and medicines and deployment of volunteers and technical officials who might be required to provide support in emergency response to COVID-19 in Bougainville. The circular also stated that all public servants are allowed to take paid leave of absence from work effective Tuesday, 24th March to 14th April 2020. The government, through the Office of the Chief Secretary, will issue any further instruction after the 14th of April 2020 on future work arrangements. All departments heads can authorize employees to continue priority work at home and submit reports of progress through online communication. Essential service agencies such as health workers, customs and border security, police, correctional service, and any other agencies that receive instructions from the government are to work as when required. All public servants are encouraged to stay at home and adhere to basic health and hygiene practice and social distancing. The acting secretary of the Department of Education in Bougainville, Ms. Mary Remy, says all schools in the region are officially suspended as of the 23rd of March 2020. The acting secretary said that schools to remain suspended for 15 school days or 3 weeks. The early closure of Term 1 becomes effective as of 23rd of March to the 14th of April 2020, Ms. Remy said. The decision to suspend classes across the region was made in relation to the current situation that is caused by the threat of COVID-19. Ms. Remy said it is for health reasons that this decision has been made, and it's also implementing the directives of the Honorable Prime Minister contained in his formal address to the nation on 22nd of March. She said that suspension of classes applies to all schools in the region, including registered, permitted and private schools. Ms. Remy appealed to education agency secretaries, district education officers, school inspectors, principals of Bougainville Technical College, principals of secondary and high schools, head teachers of vocational schools, head teachers of primary schools, teachers in charge of the elementary schools and all the schools governing boards to ensure that the decision made is implemented. The controller of the state of emergency and the Deputy Police Commissioner Francis Tokura will announce control measures for the Bougainville state of emergency this Friday. He made this announcement this afternoon live on New Dawn FM whilst announcing the state of emergency with the State of Emergency Task Force headed by the ABG Minister for Health, Dennis Lokonais, Chairman Task Force Member Joseph Watawi, and Secretary for Health Clement Totavun. Controller Deputy Commissioner Tokura said that the control measures is to make sure our people follow instructions and stay home and be safe instead of moving around in a 21-day state of emergency period. He said within that time all public gatherings, nightclubs, markets in Buka, Arawa and Buin and all roadside markets will be restricted. The controller said that PMV and cars will be restricted from ferrying many passengers. This is the first media presentation by the State of Emergency Task Force since the state of emergency was declared by the ABG President, Grand Chief Dr. John Mummies, yesterday. You're listening to New Dawn FM News in English. The 21-day emergency lockdown will affect the region's economy and other essential services, says the controller of the state of emergency and Deputy Commissioner Police Francis Tokura during a state of emergency live broadcast on New Dawn FM today. He said that as a result of COVID-19, world countries slowed down on economic activities and Bougainville will face the same problem from the 21-day emergency lockdown. He said that this emergency lockdown will influence the economy, education of young elites, health services and law and order itself. Controller Deputy Commissioner said the state of emergency will cause a lot of inconvenience, but it is for the safety and good of the people. He said that there will be directives to monitor every human activities and movements to avoid social mass gatherings. He also said that all markets in the region will be stopped within the 21 days. To end the English bulletin, people in Buka Town are trying to cope with the state of emergency announced by the ABG yesterday. Although the exact state of emergency orders are yet to be announced, stores opened and few people working to stores. Main market still open. The PSB Bank line was very long as the bank restricted the number of customers to enter the bank at any one time. Many people New Dawn FM talked to said that many of the Buka residents survive on markets, and with a closure of main market, this will definitely make them run out of food and cash during the emergency period. The state of emergency restrictions are for public gatherings and places where many people can meet, and which, according to how COVID-19 is spread, is very dangerous. This has been the New Dawn FM News in English. You can also see our news on the websites on www.bougainville.taipei.com, www.bougainvillenews.com. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. You can listen to our news on New Dawn FM's YouTube page. On behalf of the news team, I'm Aloysius Laukai. You have a pleasant evening.